Fellas, people have been calling for Ricky Starks to jump over to WWE because AEW hasn't been booking him right. But it turns out there might be more to this story. Brian, can you please pull this up so we can take a look at what's going on? So Fightful reports. Now, just to give y'all a little context behind this, there was a Reddit post going around and everybody was like, you can't really believe it because it's a Reddit post, but Sean Ross Sapp went into digging into this situation and he found out a little bit more. So Fightful reports that a Reddit post led to speculation that Ricky Starks got into legal trouble in 2023 and had been rejecting pitches in AEW. The post has been deleted, but Sapp inquired about the allegations. Now, first off, they said Ricky Starks got into legal trouble in 2023. Apparently, he was in
Right.
Canada at a bar getting
Hey.
drunk. And then there was something that happened, and they kind of had to haul him off the scene. I don't know if he actually went to jail or the law got involved, but apparently he's having some trouble getting back into Canada. He denies this. I think that's important to note. But apparently people in AEW are saying that absolutely happened. Now, as far as him rejecting pitches, let's go ahead and continue and see what he has been rejecting. Per Sapp, AEW sources claim that Ricky Starks was turning down pitches to appear on screen. And, well, my bad, y'all. Let me go ahead and get that correct. AEW sources claim that Ricky Starks turning down pitches to appear on screen was somewhat accurate. One source with direct knowledge said that breaking up with Big Bill and feuding with him was one of the pitches that he rejected in the recent months. But it wasn't the only one. Kero Valentine. Do you think this would have been good for him to kind of go head to head with Big Bill? Because
Big
apparently the
Bill.
plan was to have him go against Big Bill and go over Big Bill. But Ricky Starks was like, well, that's not smart. I shouldn't beat him because that's not going to do him any favors. Do you think he's right, or should he have just played ball and got the up for himself?
Well, when you said it's not gonna do Big Bill any favors, you're absolutely right. In fact, you're just gonna basically shoot Big Bill back in the land of irrelevancy. That would have been horrible. So, I mean, honestly, I can see him rejecting that offer and that pitch, and that makes sense to me, to be honest with you. But from everything else he just read, feels like this man is crashing out. Like he doesn't want to be in AEW, and he's just doing anything and everything, like Andrade did back in the day, kinda, to ensure that once his contract is over, they're gonna say, okay, we don't want you to go to the WWE. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's friends, maybe good friends with Cody Rhodes. So if he wanted to stay in AEW, logic would indicate that, yeah, even though that Bill storyline is kind of stupid, he doesn't like it. He would try to say yes, or he would say yes, but let's change this, let's do this, right? Or he would say yes to other pitches because, I mean, admit it, probably there's been more pitches because the last time I remember this guy wrestling was in Collision, and then he suddenly disappeared. Like he had a interesting heated moment with Edge or Adam Copeland. Like Adam nearly buried him after what he said. It was crazy, and then he's been gone. So my take on this is that if he wanted to be in AEW, he would have tried to get on TV any way he could possibly do so. I feel like not only does he want to go to the WWE, but I think he knows that, yeah, it's insured. He's definitely going to go to the WWE once his contract is over, because otherwise, not being on TV for this long, it's a big risk, especially if you don't know when you release that WWE is going to be welcoming you with open arms. But with Cody being there, I feel like, again, this is a matter of fact now. It's a spoiler at this point. That's my take.
All right, Brian.
Listen, man, I don't blame Ricky Starks for trying to jump off of the Titanic. You know what I'm saying? You look at the ratings last week, 500,000. Come on, man. What are we doing over there, AEW? You know, it's time for Ricky Starks going ahead, find something new to do. Find somebody else to play with, because AEW is definitely not it. You know what I'm saying? And NXT probably be better off, buddy. But
he's gonna drown in WWE. He thinks he's a superstar. He's too big for his britches right now. And if he goes to WWE, they're gonna bring him back down.
I don't know if
reality.
he thinks he's a superstar. When you look at the Big Bill situation, it looks like him and Big Bill are somewhat close. He's probably like, hey, bro, this ain't gonna do him any good. Even though he's in a storyline with Chris Jericho right now, the storyline with Ricky Starks probably would have been better. But
Nope.
yeah. But
We'll
yeah.
finish the story, but he's not. It's not because he's friends with Big Bill. He's being difficult to deal with, and that's not going to work too well for him in WWE. I'll tell
That's a
you
good
one
point.
thing: if you go on a movie set and they tell you, hey, like when the guy who plays Wolverine, when they said, "Listen, Logan's going to die in this movie," you think he was going to say, that doesn't work for me, brother. Let's do it like this." No, bro, you're playing out a story that these guys are writing. So no matter what they tell you to do, you need to go out there and do it.
Listen,
That's a great
bro,
point. But Andrade,
I just don't
that's what I'm
think.
saying.
I just don't think he's rocking with AEW no more. He don't want nothing to do with them, and I would have to agree with Kiro,
That's
bro. I
for
think
sure.
he's just trying to get released out his contract. AEW
Yeah, that's
don't
what it looks
typically
like.
release people. You know what I'm saying? So
No,
I just think that he's trying to go, and he's trying to get it done as soon as possible. So I don't know, man,
That
how
could be
this is
good
gonna
for him.
go, but yeah, bro. I mean, listen, whatever happens, happens. I think if he goes to WWE, he'll either be just as big or bigger than what he would have done in AEW. That's just my 2 cents.
Physically.
He's going to get cooked, bro. He's small.
I mean,
He's smaller than the Miz.
I think he'd be all right though.
Come on, man. Why
Carmelo
you,
Hayes level guy.
why you roasting the Miz?
I think
You
he'd
gotta
be
get
No,
some
the
hate
Miz,
down.
like he overachieved. I like shouts out to the Miz. I'm not trying to disrespect him at all, but
Mhm.
But
I just
Kenny,
don't see Ricky Starks hitting.
we do
those
got to
moves.
go over one more thing here though, man. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
let's finish the quotes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Making sure, just making sure.
Yeah.
Wait, let me get to the rest of the last part. I don't know what was on there.
Nah, you did read the last part. Read this part real quick, sir.
Furthermore, sources. No, I didn't read the last part. Let me see it one more time, just to make sure we give the people everything.
Nah,
'Cause he
we
did
did.
some
We
crazy stuff.
this was it.
No,
You read it.
we did not. So we did not. So the report cites sources who claim that Starks did not want to do business. That's another important part. You don't want to do business? That's like terrible terms in wrestling. However, those involved had hope that the pitch storyline would elevate both Ricky and Big Bill. Per SAP, these sources said that Starks did not believe Bill would benefit from losing a feud to him. He was said to have wanted them to have an amicable split, if anything. So you know what? You're being nice, but bro, they say wrestling is a selfish business. You got to look out for yourself. If you're set to go over Big
Yeah.
Bill, bro, you go over Big Bill. Now your profile in WWE, whenever you get there, is going to be even bigger. But go ahead, Brian. Let's go ahead and pull up the next part. Did you have anything to add to that, kiddo, Brian?
Nope, not at all.
That was
All right.
perfect.
So furthermore, sources echoed Stark's public comments about how the end of summer 2023 was a turning point for him as CM Punk leaving the company impacted his momentum. That's because he let it impact his momentum. Additionally, SAP writes that there have been conflicting information as to whether Ricky Starks had been in contact with Tony Khan recently. Per SAP, they have not heard of there being any imminent creative plans which could change. I don't think that's going to change at all. I think Tony Khan is not an idiot. He knows what Ricky Starks is doing. He knows Ricky Starks doesn't want to be there. And I understand you don't want the guy to jump right over to WWE after you release him, but do you just pay the guy to stay home? I guess that's a worse way to make him suffer, right? We'll keep paying you to hurt our pockets, but you're going to sit at home and get these paychecks.
No disrespect, but you do that to Adam Copeland, not to Ricky Starks.
So you should let Ricky Starks go.
Yeah.
I agree. I say let him go because
He's not
going to
star.
do good in WWE.
Whoa.
I don't care what it is. And it's going to be a huge insult when he goes to WWE and starts off at NXT. The guy has an ego and he is not going to like that. And I'll tell y'all what. I can't
Yeah, he's
wait
going to have to
see it.
fix that. He's going to have to fix that for sure.